get you, Barbara.
Ever played Skin the Cat?
Someone's in the back seat! Tell me where you are, John!
Wolfman's got Nards!
Hi guys, my name's Barry and welcome back to the channel. When I look back on Scream 5 with Richie's motives behind what he's doing and why he's doing it, obviously Richie and Amber's main purpose of doing the killings is so that they can make a new Scream movie based on the events of their real life within the Scream universe. That's obviously the main purpose, but he does mention toxic fandom and the general audience being toxic when it comes to horror movies especially. And you know what? Richie is kind of right. Obviously what he done was wrong, but he is right about toxic fandom, and I've kind of held off doing a video on this because I don't want to be too controversial or get too into it, but there is toxic fandom out there. We had it within the Halloween universe, we've got it in Star Wars, we've got it in all different types of categories within movies, and the Scream franchise is no different. You know, we do have toxic fandom everywhere. But what I've noticed, especially recently, is after doing my review for Scream 6, I didn't expect the amount of toxic comments that I got on that video individually, mostly my spoiler video, because the spoiler free review I didn't really go too much into why I thought the movie wasn't great. So when I went into why I thought the movie wasn't great in my spoiler review, I just had a lot of toxic comments. Obviously I got some nice comments, I got constructive comments as well. There are people who leave comments saying, I disagree with you and this is why, but I understand your reasons behind why you say that. That's absolutely fine. That's the sort of conversations that I'm looking for on YouTube. I know that we're going to get trolls and I know that we're going to get people disagreeing in a really heavy-handed way, but the amount of comments that I got in the heavy-handed way was astronomical. You get people saying, I disagree with you, you're this and you're that, and they start talking about your accent, they start talking about the way you look, and I'm like, that's just stupid. You know, the way I look doesn't mean I'm wrong about a movie. It doesn't mean I'm right either. All I'm saying is, I've got an opinion on a movie. It would be different if I said, this is my review for Scream, I didn't like it and I'm not going to tell you why. That would be strange, but I'm giving you detailed reasons as to why I don't like something. And when I say I don't like something, I didn't even say I didn't like Scream 6. I just said it was an okay film. And when I said it was an okay film, the look on my face, maybe the disappointment that I had, some people probably just pressed pause on my video, didn't watch the rest of it and started commenting down below, how dare you hate this movie? This movie was the best film since the original. In your opinion, that's fantastic, but in my opinion it wasn't, but I also didn't say I hated the film. One of the biggest targets that I get is with my accent. My accent is different from your accent is different from someone else's accent, your accent is not the correct accent, neither is mine. When you try and listen to my accent in your own, you're failing. I'm not failing, you are failing. So when I get comments like, did he just say Scream sex? Well, no, in your accent that's what it sounds like, but you have to listen to my review in my accent. So when you're thinking it's funny, the joke's on you because you're trying to hear something in your accent. Listen to this. Scream sex, Scream 6, sex, 6, sex, 6. Two completely different words. In my accent, you can tell the difference. In your accent, maybe you can't tell the difference, but one thing you don't do is make yourself look stupid and say, did he just say Scream 6? Obviously I didn't. I don't say Scream 6, I say Scream 6. And that's the major issue that I have with my trolls. I know that some people from America get trolls, but they get trolled in a different way. But when you're trying to troll someone's accent, that just tells me that you think that your accent is the only accent in the world and anyone who sounds different is wrong. No, no one's wrong. You're wrong for thinking that, but nobody's wrong. When I look at other This is just kind of spreading out now, because when I talk about toxic fandom, it's not just myself that experiences this. I've seen other people experience it. Dum Dums, Lee McCoy, he experienced it from the beginning because he said it wasn't a great film, and he just get lots of people getting on at him. Now, Dum Dums is a very positive reviewer. When he reviews a film in a positive way, he'll get lots of comments saying, oh, you only say you like it because you're getting paid for it. This is a paid review. But then when he says he doesn't like a film, they're saying, you're just trying to be controversial. Tell us that you like the film. So he can't win. When he says he likes a film, it's because he's getting paid for it. When he says he doesn't like it, it's because he's being controversial. You've even got someone like Zach Cherry, who he probably started the whole Scream thing, getting into the details of the Scream franchise first out of everyone. So he's kind of like the go-to Scream YouTuber, and he's very positive when it comes to Scream. He loves most things to do with Scream that I kind of scratch my head and think, really? And again, it's just an opinion. But then I think because he's so positive about the Scream franchise, when he came to criticise the film, then people started getting on at him. Now when people started watching his video, they were probably taken aback, thinking, whoa, you're supposed to love this film. I'm only watching your videos because you love the Scream films. But it has to be honest. Now he gave it a 4 out of 5, Zach Cherry. He gave the movie a 4 out of 5, which is a great score. I didn't give it that person, I gave it a 3 out of 5. But he gave it a 4, and he's still getting hounded saying that you this and you that. And not only are they criticising his criticisms over the film, they're criticising his looks, they're criticising the way he speaks. And you're like, why would you do that? Just because he speaks differently to you and I, just because he looks different to you and I, just because his thumbnail is a little bit out there, it doesn't mean what he's saying is wrong. It doesn't mean what he's saying should be criticised in a completely different way, something that's nothing to do with what he's saying. That's what you call toxic fandom. Toxic fans really want you to tell them what they think, and if you say something remotely different to what they say, then they spit the dummy. All the toys get thrown out the pram, and they talk about everything about your accent, the way you look, the way you smell. I don't know, I've been told I smell bad. They call you racist, they call you homophobic, they call you everything under the sun, thinking that what they're saying is right, so they can call you whatever they want because you're wrong and you're bad. It's absolutely unbelievable. So going back to Richie, yes, Richie is right. There is toxic fandom out there, and I experience it a lot, and I think I've experienced it more within the Scream franchise than I have within the Halloween franchise. Now I think Halloween Ends is really good, one of the better films in the franchise, and yes, I got a few toxic comments, but it wasn't that bad. It wasn't to the extent of what I'm getting with Scream. I'm very positive about the Scream franchise. I'm very critical of the Scream franchise, and I hold the Scream franchise close to my heart as well, because Scream is one of the best movies of all time. So when it comes to watching all these movies, yes, I'm expecting something. I've got a little bit of expectation when it comes to these films, because there is no bad Scream film in the franchise, which is still the same to this day. Astonishing, I know. So when it comes to criticising a film, whether it's good or bad, you just get all these trolls coming on you. You're this and you're that. I could show you a lot of screenshots of all the comments that I've had, guys. All you need to do is read them all, because I don't delete any of them. I do reply to a lot of them because I want to. I know that some people say don't reply to them and they'll just stop. I actually don't mind the trolls, to be honest. Trolls think they're trolling me, when in actual fact I just troll them back, and they kind of get confused. Obviously, when trolls leave comments, 9 times out of 10 their grammar is terrible, their punctuation's terrible, their spelling's terrible. So you just kind of go with the flow, because you know that who you're dealing with is either a child or someone who just wants to get a rise out of you. And if you give them the rise in the wrong way, they've won. But if you continue on and just play their game, they get confused, and sometimes, or most of the time, they just forget about you and go on to the next YouTuber. So that is my experience with toxic fandom within the Scream franchise. I've also seen other people experiencing the same thing, like Dum Dums, Lee McCoy and Zach Cherry. It's not just limited to us three. Absolutely everybody gets hounded at some point. That's just the ones that I've looked at recently. But if you've experienced it, guys, or if you've seen people experience it, let's talk about it down below. Let's not be shy about it. Yes, we're going to get trolls down below. We're going to get people trying to get you to bite. That's absolutely fine. That's what happens when you upload videos that are talking about toxic fandom and trolls. But leave your comments down below, guys. Let me know what you think of that, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.